Hi, my name is Priska, and I would like to welcome you to my first podcast on Second Life Spectrum. And I have here my really good friend Kira, with whom I have fantastic discussion on about Second Life.
Hello, my name is Kira, the owner and manager of Essentia Hotel, and I'm very excited to do this podcast all over again. So,
Yeah.
let me get
Yes.
some tea. Yes, sir. All right, all right, where are we starting at?
Okay, so I mean, I think we should say like we're doing it again because we've done it before and it was a great podcast, but we had a lot of technical issues. So this is a redo, and actually it's good practice anyway. So
Oh, yes. So, we've met through a group that we both have joined in common. It's called I Love to Decorate on Second Life. It is a group for people to join that involves with decoration of all types, to find good stores, to have help, to find communities involved with decoration, and so on. So I was on there looking for some help. I was trying to find someone's advice on a room I was decorating, and I was just looking for someone's opinion on what else I could put into this room I was decorating. And my friend, she responded before we were friends, of course. She came over and we were chatting about this room, and that's how the conversation and bond started. We were really connecting on a couple of things that we had in common. Obviously, one, we love to decorate. Two, we also found out that we also had our own business on SL. For her, you do, tell them, Chris.
my rental estate, which is my main business. Yep.
Yep, and I do virtual hotel on Second Life for many, many years since 2017. And I'm a manager now.
Yeah. And since then, we've just been good friends. And the funny thing I think of with our friendship is like, I mean, we often talk on Discord and talk for hours about issues on Second Life, trends, a lot of things. But we also run into each other all the time
All
on,
the time.
on Second Life. It's just like, you would think it is a big world, but somehow we still manage to run into each other. So I
Yes, all the
think
time.
that's fabulous. I was
So the
one
first
day,
time,
yeah, well, not the first time, but one time I was in my Linden home, in my Linden Lab home. Just I can't remember what I was doing because I don't have any furniture in there, and I've got the radar, the map, and I see Kira's name in there, and I'm just messaging her saying, "Hey, Kira, what are you doing over there? Do you live
and I'm
there?"
just like, huh? I was like, huh, what are you talking about? Yeah, she was like, do you live there? I was like, how did she know? And I look at my mini map, and there she is, all the way over there in the east side. I was like, oh, you live there too? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, shoot. Let me hop into my car. Let me drive over there and say, hey.
And here she comes knocking on my door with a cup of tea because she's always walking around with a cup of tea. It's just like that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing about Kira. She always has a cup of tea.
Always got to have a cup of tea. Always got to have a cup of tea.
So yeah, so that's how our friendship started, and yeah, so we've been friends since 2022. So I think it's almost 2 years since we've known each other.
Has it been 2 years?
Almost 2 years, or probably a year and a half, maybe. But it feels like forever.
It does feel like forever.
And yeah,
Time flies when you have
yeah,
fun.
yeah. And once we start chatting, it just never stops. And another thing we have in common is the CTS wardrobe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what.
obsessed with it.
Yes. Yeah, one other thing that we do is sometimes we just stand into a public space on voice. Um, and yeah, just we're just organizing our inventory while chatting about different things, and that gives the if it's a public space, people can join in the chat and they say hello, and it's a way of being social, I suppose, while doing things. So we're multitasking is essentially.
Mostly, yes. Last time we were at a coffee shop and we were sitting there having a cup of coffee or tea, of course, while we were organizing, and people were interacting with us while we were casually talking on mic or just typing publicly for people to hear. And we don't mind. We don't mind at all. It brings chatter, it brings life. We
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Which actually, on the subject of voice, because we did touch on that last time, and because the issue with voice is that it is so bad on Second Life. Like people are complaining that there's not as much voice as it used to be back in 2008. You know, I feel like everybody was on voice back then more than it is today. But I also think that one of the main reasons is that people choose to use Discord or any third party because the sound is really, really bad with voice.
It truly is because there's like sound delay. If you hear your voice say hello, you say hello, and it could be like a 10-second delay or almost an entire minute. So there's that reason, and also is a lot of static sometimes. People's microphone or headset could be perfectly fine, but for other people's feedback, it could be very static and choppy, or it would go silent when you're trying to speak to the person that you're on voice with, or among others that's nearby or from afar.
The other day was with Thunder. He only heard like the end of a word every 3 words, like when we were trying to talk on voice. So we switched to Skype actually. That's why we don't use voice, and I imagine a lot of people don't use voice because of that. I just saw that Linden Lab is actually working on the voice.
They are, and this has just been released yesterday. So if so for anyone who's listening, if you have a Second Life account or not, you can actually access their blog, which they're to be discussing on a new update for voice channels on Second Life for better security and also better feedback and less delays. So it could be less usage of third party voice chat like Discord, Skype, and so on. This will be great.
I think it's great. I mean, if it's a private chat, it doesn't really matter. You can easily jump on another, third party app. But I think if it's a social thing, it would be great to have great voice, basically. So I think it is a good thing that they're working on that rather than using a third party. So I can't wait, and I will be leaving the link in the description so that you can check the article about it. It's in beta, actually. I think you've got to download something.
I believe you have to download a particular viewer of the Second Life viewer, yes, to be able to test their new mic development. And you have to teleport at a specific region location where this new mic update is enabled. Not just any region, the particular region that they have available for you to try it. So keep that in mind.
Voice is great. You do not have to voice with anyone if you don't want to. Like, we can be on voice, you can be listening, and you can reply, while chatting, typing. Like, you do not have to do voice, and you shouldn't feel pressured by anyone to do voice if you don't want to.
No, not at all. You shouldn't have to. There could be many reasons why you don't want to use mic. It could be for disability reasons. I've met people who are mute or deaf, or you have a speech difficulty, or you have children or pets or a lot of background noise in your home. It could be any reason or just no reason at all. You don't feel like speaking. You could just type.
Yeah, it is nobody else's business. I think if someone pressure you, I think you just move away because I do understand the pressure we have, like people don't believe, or if you don't want to speak, it's probably because you're a man behind a woman's body, or vice versa, the trust issue. But at the end of the day, it is their issue, not yours. So if you don't want to speak on voice, don't do it. Simple as that. If you are being pressured about it, just move on.
Yes, just move on.
Okay, the main thing we wanted to talk about today is about profile. Okay, we did touch on a few things on the profile, but the main thing was about the feed tab in the profile, which I think is totally useless. But but Kira, I think it's interesting and she loves it.
It is. It's very interesting. Once it shows some, it shows a little bit more interesting tools with it. I admit it's not enough attention as it used to be. I've I love reading about the Second Life history people. And every SL birthday, I would go to the library that they always have available during that time and read all the capsules just to remember how Second Life grew. So profiles was not a thing until the year 2006, and they just had a couple things for residents to have. The feed wasn't available until a little bit later. I think the feed is great. You have pictures, you can also make comments and share it with your friends and sometimes non-friends if you don't have any the people on your friends list. And you have settings where you could be very specific on how you want your feed to be viewed or private with just yourself or your friends or just with everyone by going to secondlife.com. It could use some more updates. I'll admit.
A lot. So we were discussing the feed and last time, and when I looked at my profile, so there's my profile, I just saw there was somebody posted a comment on my feed 16 days ago. I had no idea. Like I had no idea somebody posted a comment. I didn't get a notification. I just didn't see it. The only reason I saw it is because we did that podcast and talked about it. And while we did that, actually, when I accessed my profile, it still had an old picture. But then because I logged in through the dashboard, it finally updated to the more recent picture. So that's why I feel. I mean, I think it's the idea is cool. Like you can love a comment, you can post pictures. If I look at Kira's one, yeah, Kira's posting pictures. Birthday party for a friend, had a fantastic intel. Um, but yeah, I don't see the point beside that, basically.
Well, I think what Linden Labs was trying to do with the feed was to make the community people from around the world interact more often in their profiles, show pictures, locations. You could do that in the feed. When you post a picture on the feed, you have the option to include the landmark location where you currently was when you took that photo. You can type in a little message about that photo. And people can interact by sending a love heart to it or reply with a comment about it as well. Now, here's the thing that I think needs an update. The feed in Second Life is different from the feed on the main website, secondlife.com. There are a lot more features with your feed than there are in World, which I don't quite understand why. I had assumed that the entire feed capability should be in world on a profile, not just the main website. I think Linden Lab should really put some updates on the feed so everything will be available on the main profile as well in world.
But funny enough, it is a request in the feedback section of the forum. I just saw it this morning, and they're actually looking. Yeah, I thought I had taken a screenshot, but I can't find my screenshot, obviously. But yeah, there are somebody actually talked about that, and Linden is actually taking it into account.
Oh, the suggestion portal, that's what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, great. So they are going to do something about it.
So apparently people do care about it,
Perfect. It could be like a mini little Facebook.
and make it maybe a bit more dynamic like the IMVU profile, because IMVU's got a great profile, I reckon.
I need to revisit what the IMVU profile looks like because I don't remember.
But on Second Life, profiles are important because it's like one of the biggest activity, reading profiles. I don't spend that much time spending reading profiles, but a lot of people love reading profiles.
I really enjoy reading people's profiles. It gives me a clue what I'm dealing with when someone interacts with me or I'm prepared to interact with them for multiple reasons. Okay, for example, 2 weeks ago I recently went to in a concert. It was a singer, and there were many people around in their cocktail outfits and formal gowns. And I was just looking at everyone, look at how well they dress, how interesting their avatar is, all the uniqueness. And I always open up their profile to see who they are. I always check how long they've been here, what they have in their about section. I would check their feeds to see if they put anything about any pictures there, which normally they don't. Pics to see what they said about themselves or favorite locations. I skip the classifieds because only 3% I will always catch someone with a classified. Then their first life, which is usually nothing. So I will check them out to see who they are as a person, and it's quite interesting what people put in their profiles.
People are often on social media saying, "Where are the people? Nobody talks to me. I want friends. Do you want to be my friends?" So when you read a profile and you have things like "Don't talk to me," or "My first love is none of your business," or I don't know what else do they say, like
Yeah, so if I could name a few profiles that I commonly see, let's start with the most obvious one. I call it the blink profiles. There's absolutely nothing in there from the front to the back. No picture, nothing about them. You don't even see any groups, or sometimes you see a lot of random groups that just goes down a long list. And the most thing I always really pay attention is their payment info on file. If it says no payment info and there's nothing on their profile, I would sometimes assume that it could be a bot or an alt, and I just leave them alone because you never know. And rarely I would assume that they're new.
I wouldn't judge anyone if they didn't have a payment information.
I have a bad habit of doing that.
Because you just don't know. Like, I don't know.
You don't know who they are behind the profiles, and I get so embarrassed for judging if they have a payment info on file or not due to the reason of working as a manager at the hotel. There's been some shenanigans sometimes I have to be acute and look out for. So most times when someone would try to troll or cause havoc, it's usually someone with no information on their profiles and payment no
Really?
file.
Uh,
Yeah,
mm.
sometimes. Sometimes. So I would try to talk to them, to see if they could cut it out before I give
Yeah.
them the boot. And usually they'll calm down after
Mm.
whatever their issue was. But majority,
But yeah, I mean, if they have a blank profile and no payment information, then I probably would be skeptical. But yeah, yeah, if they have a profile that is filled out and has information and and they have no payment on file, yeah, maybe they're not, but that's not the first thing I look. I think I just read the profile and then I go straight to the pics.
next is the speaking of pics, it's their profile picture on the front page.
Yeah,
You There is no warning of what you see, people. It could be from G rated, from adult rated. So
yeah.
every time you open someone's profile, be prepared to see some bits. I'm not sure what to say, so YouTube will flag this video.
Yeah. Yes, yes. There's this guy in one of the Australian group as his second life picture. He has his real life picture and he's naked. So you know exactly what this person wants. I don't think it's just to chat with you. And
He was
actually,
naked?
yeah, and he showed up one time
Oh
at
man.
my
Did
on
he
my
pose
sim.
correctly? Did he at least pose correctly?
Well, why do you want to know? Do you want to know this his size as well?
No, 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 not just like no, no. I'm just being silly. Like, did he pose like a good model correctly? Like,
No,
hey,
no, no,
I'm
no,
putting my
no,
arms behind
no,
my head.
no. I think if he was a hot dude with abs, like model type, I can't think of anyone right now. That would be fine. I can accept that.
My apologies.
Okay, I'm just kidding. See, I don't care about the payment info, but I think if you're going to post your real life picture in your second life tab, I don't like that. I think, yeah, I have questions. I've noticed that as well. They do in the Thunder app, that dating app, which is similar to Tinder but called Life, which is a good idea. But a lot of profile have men have their real life picture, which was quite surprising
Yes, I was quite surprised on that too. I was very surprised.
because this is not Tinder, this is Second Life. And that's why we've got the First Life tab where you can choose to add your real picture or be real aggressive and say, this is none of your business. Don't look at this tab. I don't.
Oh yes, and they'll have it in capital letters, so it really seems like they're screaming at you.
Yeah, and it's just like, why? Just don't say anything. There's no need to say anything. We all have a first life.
Yes, we all have a first life. I guess people have been pestered on who they are about their first life, and they say absolutely nothing about their first life, not what they're doing, not what their time zone is, or if they have siblings or family or married. Nothing, just zilch.
Don't need to put anything. Like, I think I do like to see just an age group because it's always nice to know if you're talking to somebody that is 18 or somebody that is 50. Like, not that it matters. I will always talk to anyone, but I like to know the age group. I don't need to know your birthday exactly, but the age group is nice and the time zone where you are. Like, it's always nice to know, oh, you're in America or you're in New Jersey or like, I don't think this is enough information to go and stalk someone if you say, oh, I live in New Jersey. New Jersey is a big state.
You're not kidding. I'm on Thunder right now, and I see the first real life picture right in front of my face. I've only seen men done it so far. I haven't seen a woman done it. Actually, no, I take that back. I did see it. Does Thunder say you're not allowed to have real life pictures on here? I'm pretty sure they did somewhere. I'm pretty sure they have. I've read it one time. Support platform free. What is Thunder? I'll get to it later.
Like if I don't find anything interesting, like it's not engaging, I don't know what to say. I would not be contacting someone that doesn't have a that has a blank profile or not saying anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would do the same thing. Not even be interested in that person on Thunder if they have nothing on their bio. They have plenty of room to say a lot more than they do on Second Life profile about themselves. They just add a couple of pictures or just one, and they say, hey, my age, where I'm from. That's it.
Sometimes profile is just like, if you want to know, just ask me.
That slightly annoys me.
Yeah, yeah, that annoys me too. If you want to know, you ask me. No, you have a profile. You should be able to say a little bit more about yourself than just, if you want to know, just ask me.
Yeah, like that's the bait how they reel the fish in. Like, if you want to know about me, come talk to me. And that's an excuse for, I want you to talk to me now and ask me all the questions instead of using this little bio page for me to write about myself where you can just ask me. People believe in get to know me by asking instead of get to know me by a book.
It is a bit hard to start a conversation. I know that I struggle with that. The first engagement, like I tend to be at the back. I'm not, I'm on the shy side. I stay at the back of the room, and if nobody talks to me, I probably will never talk to anyone. Luckily, there's always someone that has a vibrant personality and will talk to anyone, and that's how the conversation starts. But I'm not that type. If you don't talk to me, I probably won't say a word. And if you've got a blank profile, it is hard to start a conversation because you have no idea who they are. So if there is something on the profile that resonates with you, it makes it a little bit easier to start a conversation. I do remember I was at Warehouse 21, and somebody, I can't remember what it was, they had something on their profile that I didn't understand. So I asked them, I messaged them to ask, hey, can you explain? And we started to talk. As well, when I was writing my book, I was on mainland taking pictures. And then I received a message, and someone said, hey, I hope I didn't scare you. Anyway, he talked to me, said, I wanted to ask you a question because I can see you're a writer. Because I think I had writer on my profile somewhere. And I said, yeah, sure. We ended up talking for 10 hours.
What about what? 10 hours?
Yes, 10 hours. We were chatting and it was so interesting. And then he said, oh, do you want to move to Discord so we can do voice? Because and yeah, okay, no problem. We ended up, I swear, talking for 10 hours.
Oh man, it must have been the most funnest conversation.
It was. He is very interesting, and as well, he talked to me because he's from Australia. So yeah, I forgot to tell you about him. But yeah,
Mm.
10 hours, and every time we talk, it's always long chat. Very interesting person.
Well, it seems.
Trust me, even Thunder was just like 10 hours.
I know Thunder was like
With
10 hours. Are you
yeah,
sure
10
you guys
hours.
were just talking for 10 hours?
Yeah.
There was no hand holding, wasn't it? Where did he take you? What's his name? Let me find him.
I am not giving his name. He's probably go and stalk him. So you
Thunder will be
talking
banging at
tomorrow?
his front Linden home door like, open up. I know you're feeling
Yeah,
for SL life.
yeah. 10 hours talking about what?
Well, the
Uh,
birds and the bees, and how
yeah.
the bees protect the queen bee from Japanese hornets. I don't know. I'm making things up.
So yeah, that happened. So that was a way, because he talked to me because of something that was written on my profile. And on another occasion, that was when I came back to Second Life, I was exploring. I had a few friends back from the days, but because they're all American, during my time zone, I don't have anyone at night, in the evening, like most of the time, all my American friends are asleep. And then I ran into this guy, and oh my gosh, such a beautiful avatar that I fell in love with his avatar. It was just the most amazing. The way he was dressed, the way he looked, it was just amazing. And he didn't have much on his profile, but it said he was Australian, and that was the thing. But the rest of his profile, like I couldn't figure out what to say. Like I wanted to message him, and I swear it took me 30 minutes to find the courage to ask something, which I can't remember because that was back in 2017, I think. And so yeah, after half an hour, I finally sent my message. It took him a while to respond, but we've been close friends ever since. Even though I did block him for 3 years, but yeah, never mind. We had a little bit of a disagreement, but yeah, we are really really good friends. All because of profile reading, really. Like I feel it's very important to have a profile.
Very important. And if you have no idea what to say about themselves, that's okay because people also put like their favorite meme or their favorite YouTube link that they want to share or their favorite music or
Mm.
Flickr. They like to show their interests or their art
Yep.
or poems or a sentence that they remember hearing off of a favorite movie. You could put that there on your profile to show what your thoughts, what you like, what you believe in, those things. And people
Yeah.
will resonate with that or have interest or
Or
questions.
we could do like this girl got authorization to show some profiles. She made her profile with ChatGPT, actually. She just added some information with ChatGPT. She said she wanted something interesting that people could read and that had enough information to engage in a conversation. So, I mean, she has a lot of information just on the About tab. Like I didn't know you could write that much in that tab.
Wow, she did order a lot. How the heck? Hmm. You, I see what she did. So she put her words to the left and she didn't use any links and used very less space. That's how she has a lot of characters available.
Okay, because I feel like when I try to write my profile, I always run out of space. But hers, yeah, she does. Oh, yeah, see, dreamy and imaginative. Yeah, okay, no space. Ditzy and excitable, soft-hearted and cautious, borderline ratchet psychopath. Okay. Oh,
Motivation and goals. Starts a cannabis farm and kitchen garden while maintaining an elderly customer base that hits me with a walker slash canes when I'm short from the grapes.
so she did say she was trying to be funny. Like, really, she wanted to create something that would make you want to talk to her, basically.
That is interesting. Oh, significant events. Young adulthood. Should I read this part? Is this safe? Yes, this is
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
After graduating from high school, Sugar moved to a big city to pursue her dreams of becoming a kingpin drug dealer. Ooh. However, she struggled to find her footing in a competitive black market. Oh, this must be her role play stories that she does on SL. Present. Now in her 30s, Sugar is reevaluating her life. She still yearns for a sense of purpose and connection, but she also cautiously about the path forward because oops, be lurking.
Looking. Relationships. Sugar was abandoned at birth by her father, Trevor Phillips, and Tonya Wiggins. I'm not sure if they're real, actually. Friends. Sugar maintains a small circle of like-minded friends who appreciate her unique perspective and imagination. Love. Sugar is not interested in romantic or sexual relationships. Johannes can be deleted. Dryer. So at least that makes it clear what she's interested in, which is
Wait,
not
wait, wait, wait.
romance. Yeah.
Sugar is not interested in romantic or sexual relations. Oh, I see.
Mm.
I get it.
Yeah.
Friends. Sugar maintains a small circle. Okay. Family. She doesn't have family, so she doesn't do family on SL, is what she's saying. When it comes to friends, she has a bit of a small circle, not a wide one. When it comes to love, she doesn't really pursue it whatsoever. So, for anyone who might be interested in Miss Sugar, don't try it. She's not interested.
Yeah. 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 Which is nice as well, to respect what the boundaries of people. Um, so then she's got a growth and chance, maturity. She's got such a lot of information on just that first tab. See, that's one thing. I don't like long profiles. I like the straight to the point. I mean, but I can see where she's going, and it is fun. And at least you can start a conversation with that. Definitely.
Okay, yes, you're right.
And on the first life, cameraman never dies. Do it for the plot. Okay, I'm
And
not
then she
going
has
to.
YouTube links and
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. I might not show the first life
Oh, she
because it.
has a YouTube channel.
Oh, is it? Oh, I
Yeah, she
didn't even check
does.
that. Let's
These
see.
are videos of her shopping experience on SL. Weekend
Ah,
sale shopping, grand events shopping, crafty weekend, ideas for my land, let's go shopping. Yep.
okay. So another YouTuber.
Nice. So she
Okay,
started
so
her
she
channel a
started.
month ago.
You can read it. You've got much soothing voice.
So he's partnered with Corey since 2023 on December 9th. Like to help others, although he's patient where it needs to be. Wasting time is not his style. He never wants to offend anyone, but he do believe in wisdom. If it looks like a duck, blank, blank, blank. What does that mean? If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. Is that what it means?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought that would be an American expression. I don't know.
It could be. People, if anyone in the comment section, please explain what does that mean. Now, carry on. I refer to each avatar as a distinct person, even if I know they're an alt. Philip Rosedale. Second Life is different than a game because there isn't any goals. That is true. And that is always a constant fight debate. Is Second Life a game or Second Life is real? There's always that never ending debate, is Second Life a game or not? Me, I sometimes catch myself saying it's a game and I rarely say it's not. For anyone who asks me outside of SL, family, friends, colleagues, or coworkers at my job, people sometimes ask, "What do you do for hobbies?" And I say, "Oh, well, I play video games and Second Life, and I do coloring and other things." And that's where they ask, "What's Second Life?" I would do my best to explain, but it goes right over their heads. So I would say it's a game, just to help them out.
It is so hard to explain anyway. That's why I wrote a whole book about it. And even writing a whole book is not even enough to explain Second
No,
Life.
it's not
So
enough.
yeah,
It's never
yeah.
enough to describe something that's so vast and wide. You
Mm,
have to step in yourself and understand what Second Life means. Not one day or one week is enough for you to get a full grasp of it.
mm, yeah. There was a Reddit post a few days ago, and it was titled, I signed up on Second Life uh, an hour ago, and I am not having fun. What am I doing wrong? I don't think the first day would be fun. That's why I quit as well when I joined in 2006. I stayed 2 hours and thought, nah, this is not for me. I'm out. Don't understand. It's fugly.
I
I was playing Sims at the time, so that's why. I thought, no,
I came from PlayStation Home. People who are listening, if anyone who is a PlayStation person, hello. Great times, wasn't it? So, PlayStation Home is a virtual world on the PlayStation 3 of Sony, which had closed in 2015. And that's where majority of my virtual friends transferred to Second Life, or IMVU as a substitute. I chose Second Life because what I've heard about it and seen on YouTube and Wikipedia and blogs, it was so interesting. It was even on a American TV show called CSI Miami. I did not know that. So I gave it a shot, and on my first day was a learning curve. Thank goodness I was at the Welcome Hub and there were many volunteers ready to help any person in distress. I was a damsel in distress. I did not know nothing.
yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, but even back then, when did you say you joined?
2014.
2014. Yeah. Even back then, you didn't have what we have today. Like joining today with the amount of, bodies, heads, skins, clothes, bomb, appliers, uh, food shapers, alpha layers. What else? Anything on second of it is hard to understand if you, especially if you've never
Yes,
used such platform. Like
yes,
you
getting
can't.
started is difficult.
Yeah, I don't think you can in 1 hour grasp Second Life and enjoy it, especially if you come to the platform on your own. Like if you have friends, because when I came back only because I have friends who were on Second Life, found out that I had an account, and they basically dragged me into it. You have to come to it. I said, no, it's horrible. What are you doing on there? That was in 2008. I thought, I don't understand this. Just come, just log in, just log in. I'll tell you all about it. And that's the only reason I stuck with it, is because I had friends and they guided me through it, and it made it fun.
And I have friends too when I joined. There were a couple of people that I already knew that was on Second Life ready, waiting for me to take my few steps. So I was pretty much established on who to go to. But for people who just come by themselves because they probably saw an advertisement or they saw an interesting pictures or a video from YouTube, they decided just to hop in on their own to see if they could figure it out. They have the worst time of figuring out, and that's when they just log off within an hour or so of giving up.
It has a big learning curve, and you have to go past that. And
Yes,
once you go past that, yeah, it could be fun, but it also depends on the people you hang out with. And yes, it is hard to meet people, but it's the same thing in real life.
yes, you have to start somewhere,
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere, anywhere.
and don't give up,
Never.
basically. But yeah, your profile can be one of the starting thing. as well. Even if you're new, I mean, you can still start with saying a few things about yourself.
Yes, even if it's just on your first couple of minutes of logging in, you can right click on your avatar and the little pie wheel will show, and you choose the word profile, and you just type something about yourself, anything at all, like, hey, this is my first day, I'm just getting started. I hope I hope my experience is worthwhile or something. And people will open your profile out of curiosity because they see, a noob walking around, running into walls, lagging out a little bit, and they'll read your profile and say, oh, this guy's new or she's new. People on Second Life generally love helping new people because we get it. We know how difficult it is. Some people are patient, some not so much. Me, I love helping people. I love helping people that are new. I get a real kick out of it because it's so much fun to me. So, by all means, express yourself.
I do have one question on this
Mm.
profile because I see that often. Why do you feel the need to say partnered with such and such with Corey on 23rd 12/09 when you can clearly see that they are partnered? Why do people feel the need to actually say the date?
For this particular profile, I don't know, but
I see it on many profile. Like I don't have it on my profile. I have it in my notes. Why do people need to know that?
maybe they want to remember the date, like an anniversary a note for themselves.
Yeah,
Or,
but you can do that in your notes. Like nobody needs
yeah,
to
that's
see it
true. They
really,
could do that in
because
their notes.
that's what I have in my notes. I have plenty of notes on people.
Put in their notes. I've seen people have like their marriage day on their pics or in front of their profile saying,
Yes, with a picture, which makes sense. But I would move that to your pics.
yeah, it could be moved to his pics. Does he have anything
Yeah,
in his pics? He only has two things. He has plenty of
yeah,
room.
yeah.
In profiles, you can have up to 9 individual pics on that tab, which Linden Labs, if you're listening, can you give us 10 extra more pick slots, please? Thank you.
Especially for business.
Yes. Oh my God. Can we talk about that real quick? That would be great if the person who suggested it about an update on the profile feed in the suggestion portal on the website. So you said that profile should have an extra tab called business because
Like I think when you are business owners and you only have 9 picks and you always want, you always want to have that special picks about, your partner or your friends and all that kind of thing. And I can't do that because if you look at my profile, which I don't, yeah, I do have apps. So I'm using I think I deleted one recently, but a lot of my picks are related to my business, my estate, but 5 regions. Okay, so I like to have a pics for each one of them. I'm a blogger, so I like to have a pics about my blogs. I'm also a YouTuber, so I probably would want to have a pics. But then I have many friends that I care about. I would love to put a picture about them. And then I have my partner, and I love having, things about my partner because, that's just what we do. So I'm using 5 pics for business related stuff. So I feel like I'm missing out. So either separate and have a tab for business. I don't know, yeah, how they could do that, or have more pics in general because, why just 9?
probably thought 9 was good enough. Pics, the tab pics people is generally made for pick your favorite location that you want to share on your profile with the residents on Second Life. And on my profile, if you go below from 2 to 9, I have pick locations of my favorite hangout areas.
Mm. Let me
These
point out she doesn't like mine, but that's okay. I'm only, I'm only, I'm only teasing, but yeah, carry on.
Yep. So in my profile pics, I actually use the pic tab correctly because it's about share your favorite locations. I like going to the park. I like going to saltwater,
Mm.
Fruit Island, Haven of Mermaids, Japan Tempura, a Japanese village, Salt and Sirens, Tokyo, Wind Hill City. So those are some of the places that I would like to hang out, and it's just not enough. So what I
Mm.
do is each pick, if you click on number two, in the description, I will have teleport landmarks to other
Oh,
locations as
yeah.
well that's similar.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that
yeah,
way I can have more.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Hmm. Yeah, if I did a hyperlink design.
Yeah. Still don't see mine, but but I do love how you've done your the number one tab, so it gives a clear indication of what you do, what you like to do, and same thing because your profile is pretty short, like the first tab, but it's straight to the point.
Actually,
Uh
the tab in pics, if where it says Kira 1,
yeah, yeah.
that's actually messed up. All of my links are gone.
Even if your links are gone, it's still like it still says, yeah, what you are about.
Yes.
So it is inviting people to actually contact you. There's references that you can use.
So you were on there too?
I was on PlayStation Home. I like what you did, even though if it's missing links. Got a pretty neat first tab, straight to the point about the business, fantastic. And then if you switch to your pics, you can actually learn more about you. And then in the first life tab, gender, location, zodiac, age group, want to talk to people in their 20s, for example. They probably don't want to talk to an oldie like me who is over half a century.
Now, why would they limit themselves on who to talk to? I haven't done that since I was in high school.
Some people don't feel comfortable with talking with older people or younger people, or it's more of a generalization. I can't talk to a 20-year-old because they don't know what they're talking about. Or one of my closest friends, she's 25, younger than my daughter. But some people can't do that. They just want to talk to people that in their own age group. You don't need to put your exact age. You can just say 30 plus. I think I have 50 plus in mine. I'm pretty sure.
I put 31 because I actually always update my profile when my birthday passes. Next year I'll be 32 years old, so I always go to my profile and put 32.
I've got half a century later. No pictures. Why did you add that?
Oh, God. Let me tell you. So I used to have my real life picture on my first life tab. It was a picture of me when I was 27, I think. I had too many IMs coming from guys saying how sexy, hot, gorgeous, you need to smile. Is this really you? Are you catfishing? I had to take it off. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and also the picture was so old and I haven't updated in years. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Let me take it down.
I've always had my first life picture and I've never received any messages like that. Or maybe I'm not good looking enough like you then.
Don't say that.
Well, I don't know.
It's
I've never received
it would
any
probably
message.
depend on where I was and what I was doing. So it really depends on what what you're doing on Second Life and where you are. So where I was receiving a lot of feedback.
Speaking on meeting people, I did meet someone came to rent a house. She was Australian, and then as we became friends and started to talk, she happened to live like 5 kilometers away from me.
Oh,
Yeah, so we we
okay.
we met in real life. You never know what happens, sometimes you can meet people in real life as well.
You could definitely meet people in real life. Even I've met some of the people that I've met on Second Life in real life and just have to bump into people who haven't to play Second Life before I even knew who they are on Second Life. This happened one, two, three, four times so far. Yep. The first time was when I was getting my computer fixed at a computer geek store. So I was picking up my computer tower, and the man was there waiting for me. And he looked at my gaming computer and he said, "This is a nice beast. What type of games you play?" I told him the games I was playing, and I said, "I also play like this virtual reality game." And he said, "Oh, what is it?" And I said, "Second Life." He slapped his hand on the table and he said, "Shut up. I play Second Life too." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And oh, he had highlights in his hair. He had pink glittering nail polish on. Oh, he was one flamboyant, expressive self. He was so excited. He was like, "You got to give me your ID name. What's your ID name? I might know you." So I told him. He was like, "No, it doesn't ring any bells. Let me tell you my ID name." So he told me his, and I was like, "No, it doesn't ring a bell." So we were writing each other's ID names on the paper, and as I got home, I set up my computer, I logged in, I found his profile, and I sent him a friend request. Days later, he finally accepted it, and I teleported him to my parcel home, getting ready to chat with him on mic, and what threw me off was that he didn't want to talk on mic. I was so bummed. And his avatar was female because he role plays and he shapeshifts a lot. So basically, his avatar is female. And he didn't want to talk on mic. And I said, "Is something wrong?" And he said, "No, I just prefer typing." And I said, "Oh, okay." So we had a conversation where I was just talking and he just types. As earlier, people, as you guys are listening, no one is forced to talk on mic, of course. At that time, I was just so surprised that he didn't want to. I mean, clearly, at the store where he was working for, it was interaction with no problem. On virtual, nothing. It's different. It's like it's backwards, or am I not making sense? The second time I was at a convenience store, I was grabbing some snacks, and the guy at the register, he looked so familiar, and I was just staring at him for a bit, like, do I know him? He's not from my school. He's much older, I could see. So I would always see him at that same exact convenience store until one day I was on Facebook and one of my online friends had made a post saying, "Working at this convenience store for the past couple of months, it's so boring. People just come in and out without making no conversation." And I was like, "Wait, is this him?" So I messaged him saying, "Hey, do you work at this convenience store at this address?" And he said, "How do you know that?" And I was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "Oh my God, don't freak out. But I actually was in there grabbing some snacks and you paid for my food." He was like, "Wait, really? Which woman were you?" I was like, "You'll know." So I went there again a week later because I wanted something to eat, and there he was. He didn't he didn't pay anything attention to me. He treated me like a normal customer. So I said something very catchy that only he would know that's connected to Second Life as me, Kira. So I said, "So you still dressing like a creep some days?" And he was like, "Oh my God, Kira." I was like, "Hey!" He was like, "Oh, so you're the one with the thick hips. I was checking you out." And I was like, "Oh my God, was he checking me out?" It was so funny. So when we were back on SL again, he was hitting on me a lot ever since that day. He had a crush on me, but I didn't feel the same. I did not feel the same. Oh yeah, I parted ways because he has some personal issues with him that I wouldn't want to say on video, so I had to part ways with him.
Friendships, they come and go.
The last one is someone that I've knew for years, and he came over to visit at my apartment just to have lunch, and we were playing video games, and we were watching a show that he really liked. which I wasn't really interested, but we gave it a shot. He travels from state to state. That's what his career involves with delivering goods from certain companies, and he has to travel for it. So sometimes he will let me know that he's in town, and when he's in town near my city area, he'll just casually let me know. And I said, you know what? I'm ready to meet you. All these years, I'm ready to meet you physically. So I said, hey, you should to come over to my apartment and we just have some lunch. And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. So we scheduled a date when he was going to be available near town, and I gave him my address. When he came over, he paused and looked at me, and I was like, oh, is it my hair? Is it me? I did gain weight. I gained a lot of weight during COVID lockdown. Oh man, I couldn't go to the gym. I was so sad. He was like, you're so much taller. And I was like, no, you're taller. He was like, you're really tall. I'm only 5 feet tall. I'm not that tall. But it was a great time. He enjoyed the salad I made. We were playing Destiny 2, which I still love to play sometimes to this day. Can't wait for the last expansion to come out, if any Destiny 2 players. It was a great time hanging out with my friend.
So any Destiny 2 players out there, we play. I'm on Xbox.
We do. I'm on PC. I used to be on PlayStation, and it's been months since I played Destiny 2. I've been diving my head into survival games a lot instead of loot shooters. We talked about the feed, we talked about the first life page, pics, first life notes. We didn't say anything about the classifieds because barely anyone used it. I used it a couple times for hotel reasons, but other than that, that's just a business commercial.
It could go. It's not really relevant on a profile. I did try it a few times, to advertise my rentals, but it does give you a count of people, of how many people see the ads, but it was so minimal that I don't think it was worth paying for it.
The classified, how it works, people, is when you're trying to advertise something that involves with the category, you put in a certain amount of lindens that you want the advertise to be, like how more notice you want it to be. So let's say you're running a business, a clothing store, and you want your clothing store to be noticed by using the classifieds. If you put 10 lindens on your classified, you're paying 10 lindens once a week. I believe your classified commercial will be almost at the bottom of the list because you're paying so little. The more you pay per week, the higher the classified commercial will be on that list, and that's how it will be more noticed, and you might get more clicks from people who's checking out the classified commercial section in the search tab. So if you pay more, it'll be more noticed. That's how it works.
I don't think it has a place on the profile, to be honest.
No, it doesn't apply for to people to express themselves in general. That's just like a business tab thing.
I don't think even as advertisement it's a good investment. If you want to advertise, I think there's a better option than the classified. So I would rather they do something, remove it, add more pics, make a better feed. I do like the notes. The notes section, I use it. We were trying to figure out the other day when we met, figure it out, and then I looked at my notes and I already had when we actually met.
Yes, the notes is a lifesaver.
Profile, I do have notes. If I block someone, I will write down, block this person on search day because blah, blah, blah. So I wouldn't remove the note. I think it is useful. I don't know if you're using it. Let us know in the comments if you're using the notes.
Yes, I use notes all the time. Oh, and I also do that for people who I block too as well, because there are some rude people. That's just life. You're going to meet some people that you just don't click no matter what you do. So the people that I block, they come up as a red dot, and when I see them, I would scratch my head on, did I block them by accident? Because that happens sometimes. And I would check their profile and their notes, and it will refresh my memory on why they are blocked. And I'll be like, oh, that's why. All right, Vulcan. Let's see. What he said about himself is fine. He used his profile feed. Last time he took a picture was 4 months ago. That is nice. That is cool. With location pics. He only has two locations: Virtual Ability and MapP Main Store. Anyone who does not know MapP is one of the popular interactive games and cool miscellaneous gadgets. Go check them out. Vulcan, if you have any more favorite locations you like to share with the grid, use your picks and add a few favorite locations.
At Magnetic
Or
Island.
or
I
that.
think it's a great place to go to.
I've clicked on his website and he has way more information about himself than the Second Life profile can ever provide, which is very awesome. Vulcan, you did a great job, and also displaying about your about your medical history is quite nice because I also do the same thing too on my profile. So for people, I have attention deficit disorder. I was diagnosed when I was a teenager in my later teens. And I also, oh, by the way, Priest, I've updated my pic. So if you go back to there, go to Kira. I fixed it. Yeah, so it's right there that says I have attention deficit disorder, and it's a highlighted link straight to a YouTube video of a doctor that is explaining what attention deficit disorder is. It's like a 30-minute video, a bit long, but it's pretty much a lot of information about it. So I thought, why not show people what that means so people can have a general idea of how I am? Because I'm quite forgetful and I don't mean to be, and my mind is always on the go. I don't know how to stop it. Unless someone has a bat nearby, then I'll be able to stop thinking for temporarily. Yep. I have my wish list there, Facebook, Flickr, the PlayStation Home trailer.
Has there been anyone that actually buy from this list? Because that's something that I see quite often on profile.
Heck yeah.
Really? Oh, I'm doing bad,
Yeah.
people. Make sure you read my profile. I'm just going to do a wish list. Really?
People would be buying me things on my birthday or a holiday or Christmas,
Really?
and a few times just a bit randomly, and I was like, wait a minute, how did I get this in my seed? Did I went shopping in my sleep again? I was like, oh man, I gotta pay my land bills and stuff. But no, it came from some guy that I just happened to be talking to a week later at a club I was at, and we were having a great conversation too. He was being a little bit too flirtatious with me, and I was ready to hit the road. He purchased me a fanny pack that I wanted that was in my wish list, and he left a message saying, I wanted you to notice me. And I was like, okay,
Oh my
thank
gosh.
you, but you didn't have to buy me a gift for me to notice you. I've noticed you since we were talking at the club.
Oh my gosh, people.
Buy me a
I
gift.
am adding a wish list.
So it was getting out of hand because I don't like just receiving random gifts out of the blue when I don't know who they are personally. So I said, Christmas list only. I don't want no one sending me nothing unless it's during Christmas, especially when it's friends, because I like to exchange gifts too. Like you, Chris, you're getting a Christmas gift. So remember that. Have your wish list ready so I can see what the heck you want.
Okay, okay.
I do this with my friends. I've done it with a few random people sometimes that really touched my heart. I was checking out a beautiful landscape sim and I just saw this couple that was like at a bridge and they were just talking to each other when I was just walking by exploring, and I saw that they were typing in local chat. They were having a deep conversation about the woman was talking about a friend that she has not seen in months, and she was getting worried that something might be happening to her friend because she's so used to her best friend logging in on a regular basis, and this is the first time that she hasn't logged in months. The, and I assumed that was her boyfriend standing next to her. He was saying, "Baby, it's okay. Don't worry. I'm pretty sure your friend is just busy." And they were just silent for a while. And she said, "I'm sorry, I was crying." And I was like, "Oh, it's okay." So, and I was checking out her profile and I saw she had a wish list. And the cheapest thing that I saw in there was like a floral in a glass vase. So I decided to purchase for her. And I said, "I overheard your conversation. Apologize for eavesdropping, but I'm pretty sure your friend is okay. Here's a flower." Sent it to her. She was so happy.
Let me know if you actually have received present, like you didn't know, weren't expecting, or anything like that. I want to hear all about it.
Random act of kindness is so great. But I agree. There people would have their wish list and they would create their hyperlink to say, "Buy me SHIT!" exclamation point. They would say that and I'd be like, "Rude. I'm not buying you nothing." I've seen some profiles that they would have the um you know how you right click on someone and you have the payment option to pay Linden.
Hovering, you can see that it says the link marketplace.secondlife.com, and US, because she's in the US, wish list, and then her name. So that's the actual link. So that's all you need to do. You can kind of just hover over the link to check where it would take you if you're scared to actually click on it, and make sure it's a legit link before clicking on it. And this is all we have time for today. So this is our first podcast, and I apologize if it's a bit long or anything else that might have gone wrong. I don't know until I'll edit that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Um, if you want to share with us your thoughts, feedbacks, topic you would like us to discuss, um, what else? Anything really.
What is the most bizarre profile have you ever seen on Second Life, people? You can put that in the comments below. Or what is the most interesting profile that you really liked? I have a friend who actually did a video profile. So she used Geizo. She has Geizo Pro, I think. And she was just doing a record of herself and she was talking about herself, what she likes to do and everything. So people can hear her voice, so people can really get a feel who she was. And she put it that in her profile years ago.
All right, so I would like to thank you everyone for watching, and I hope if you made it that far, that is absolutely awesome. Bye.
See you guys next time. Bye.